Hello, hello. Welcome to the Michael Cisco Show. I am your host, Michael Cisco. Um, Welcome back to another solo. My last show Thursday was pretty epic with Father John Whiteford. Always good to have a bass priest on the stream, saying very bass things. Which I think the topic, if you haven't seen it, I think the topic was very important, especially to hear from the real Orthodox sources rather than subversive, fake Orthodox sources such as the Fortumites and Orthodoxy and Dialogue and all that jazz. So I wake up today. Today's show is going to be an interesting show, I think. But before we get there, don't forget to pick up your copy of The Bowl of Tears and Solace by Garth T. Ogle on saintsedwardmedia.com. He's writing a sequel, and so you're going to want to read the original before you read the sequel. Only available on saintsedwardmedia.com. Also, don't forget to check out the Trad Forum. Get your ticket before it's too late. The link for that event is in the description. I also forgot to set up Entropy, so let me do that as I goof off, get some more people on the stream and set up Entropy. Man, I'm on my game today. But I don't know how many of you have woke up and saw the news about what the Biden administration plans to do regarding the vaccine. They plan to basically make it mandatory and to create a digital passport that is required to participate in commerce. So here we are at we've seen it coming for quite a while, but it's still shocking when it happens for some reason. Not quite sure why it's still, even when we talk about this, it's almost like a sliver of hope that maybe it won't come to that, but then it does. And you're still shocked. Hang on, almost done with the Entropy. I'll throw the link up once I have it set up. All right, looks like we're good to go on Entropy. Give me 1 second. How's everybody doing today? Are you having a good time on this great Monday morning? All right, Entropy's good. Let me set the... there we go. And I'm going to pin that real quick. I know, not the best way to start the show. I should have had this prepared before I went, but I was busy. I'm trying to finish this Byzantium history book. And I'm just, I was a little more focused on my reading. Why is this not working? Hang on, I'm trying to pin that chat. No. Keeps sending me to Entropy. I just want to pin the chat. Boomer Tech. All right, well, whatever. The link's in the description. I don't need to pin it. But I did want to, obviously waking up and seeing the disclose.tv, which really I saw it on Laura Loomer's channel before anything. I think Lauren Witzke posted it. Glad we didn't literally elect Adolf Hitler. It's like, right, really? So what is it going to come to if I refuse this vaccine? So I want to read. I don't want to be too ominous, but I want to read Revelation 13. And then I'm going to follow that up with some Orthodox Study Bible commentary on verses 11 through 17. And then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. Now the beast which I saw was like a leopard, and his feet were like the feet of a bear, and his mouth like the mouth of a lion. The dragon gave his power his throne and great authority, and I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world marveled and followed the beast. So they worshipped the dragon and gave authority to the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" And he was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and he was given authority to continue for 42 months. Then he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and those who dwell in heaven. It was granted to him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and authority was given him over every tribe, tongue, and nation. All who dwell on the earth will worship him, whose names have not been written in the book of the life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. If anyone has an ear, let him hear. He who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He who kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Then I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and spoke like a dragon. And he exercises all authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. He performs great signs, so that he even makes fire come down from heaven and on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. And so I want to follow that by reading some of the Orthodox commentary from the OSB. And so for the verses 11 and 12, the beast which rose out of the earth with 2 horns, like a lamb, contrasts that to Christ, who is gentle in giving, and which spoke like a dragon. So Satan, whose speech is seductive, is a worldly religion. Its minister of propaganda, so to speak, mimics John the Baptist and the Holy Spirit, a false prophet, calling all to worship the first beast, which is a false divinity. This monster completes the unholy triumvirate, the dragon, which is Satan, the false god, the beast from the sea, worldly authority and power, false incarnation, and the beast from the earth, the worldly religion, false prophet, a blasphemous parody of the Holy Trinity. And if you can't see this, basically Satanism, progressivism, and all other forms of world religion and just false ideologies standing in contrast to the truth, And I don't really know what more to tell you. I don't know. If you're Orthodox, if you're Christian, you can obviously see this happen. What's happening? You can see the truth of what's going on here. And you can see the signs. I mean, to me, the beast is pretty obvious. I think the first beast is Lucifer. The second beast is this antichrist religion, world religion that I would call progressivism or leftism in general. Obviously, it's tied to politics because worldly power is, as it says here, world authority and power is that beast from the sea. And so I would go as far as to say that the liberal democratic order is that beast. I don't want to speak too authoritatively on that, but if it's not that beast, it's a prototype of that beast because it's antichrist. It's based on anti-Christian Enlightenment principles that are just false. Their presuppositions are false. Doorman 360 says Nero was also considered a type of the beast. That's true. Wiglaff de Grunlander. Apparently, New York State is promoting a COVID passport to go out and do. Well, it's not just New York State. We're going to get into an article after I finish this. It's more than just New York State. Let me check the entropy chats quickly. Nothing doing there. Don't forget, you can support with the entropy link that's in the description and also in the comments. $10 or more, you can do a call in once I drop the link. But the OSB commentary on verses 13 through 15, with the parody of Pentecost, this monstrous cult leader is able to make fire come down from the heaven on earth by means of deception and sorcery, luring people into making an image to the beast. Statues were often brought to life by sorcery. Irenaeus, Clement, Justin, and Eusebius note that the sorcerer Simon Magus used illusion and occult practices to make idols seem alive. This beast is able to enforce the sentence of death on those who will not worship him. I don't know of any. I'm sure that some of our guys could more versed in current occult practices could find something. But I mean, obviously the link to the New World Order, and basically the globalist elite. There's definitely some occult links there. Orthodoxy and Chloroquine says, where do we as Orthodox Christians go? How do we resist? Well, I mean, I pretty much laid that out in my last episode. Move to a place of refuge that's more friendly to conservative ideals. Let's all move to West Virginia. But basically, I mean, just don't get the shot. Refuse. Don't do it. Verses 16, 17, the commentary goes as follows. A parody of God's seal of 7:3, even alluding to the Hebrew phylactery of Deuteronomy 6:8, where God's law is kept on the forehead and the left hand, and to chrismation, but not the same word as sealed. The mark is gained by worshiping the beast. It signifies the beast is the owner of those who wear it, their protector, and the one to whom they owe their livelihoods. This mark is not necessarily a visible and a physical mark on the person, but it is required to do business. It's required to do business. There is then an economic bias against those who do not bear the beast's mark, the faithful who will not render demonic worship to the state. And so I'm telling you, what I'm saying is that to receive the COVID vaccine, which is being explicitly required, they're trying to make it required to do business. That is basically demonic worship to the liberal democratic anti-Christian order. And if you receive it, I'm sorry, but I mean, if you have any understanding of this here, if you have ears to hear and eyes to read and a brain to comprehend what you're reading, if you receive the vaccine, you are worshiping the system and you are giving it is a symbol of obedience to a demonic regime. And I don't know how else to put it. I mean, maybe I can be charitable to people who are afraid and think that it's in their best interest to, I think that they're doing the right thing for their health. Maybe I can be a little charitable. Jay Evola says, can we bootleg it like a counterfeit? I don't even want to do that because then you're still like giving a symbol of obedience, right? But because if you get the fake passport, it's like, oh, see, I'm a good. I'd rather just resist. Just resist. Just resist. Let's see what we have here. Somebody says let's all move to North Arkansas. No, William, that's not one of the spots. I think we have one about to prop up in an Orthodox in Oklahoma. We have Montana, and we have West Virginia, which will become the Orthodox Utah. So, but I mean, if this Sultan says, what about the polio vaccine? I don't know that they required the polio vaccine to do commerce. I think this is an unprecedented. Yeah, Archer, you're right. Appalachia or bust. But I think this is an unprecedented violation of medical freedom. Basically pairing it to essential goods, like that's insane. If this is not the mark of the beast, it is definitely a proto-mark. It's definitely a symbol of obedience to the progressive faith, the globalist elite, and that regime, that evil demonic regime. Now, whether or not they succeed in making this mandatory, that's yet to be seen. But their intention is clear. Their intention is to ban you from commerce if you don't receive the vaccine. That's clear. And it's even here on, let me do a screen share real quick. I mean, if you don't believe me, if you haven't seen this in the news yet, shoot. I clicked off of it. Hang on. Let me get out of there. I'm sharing emails. Oops. Hang on, I closed the tab by accident. But I mean, this is CNN is even bragging about this. So I'm going to try and pull up the CNN article. Here we go. Right here on CNN. Meanwhile, I'll check entropy real quick. Nothing on entropy. Oh, I didn't realize I had this. Yikes. Still loading. Still loading. I never should have closed the tab. All right, here we go. So Biden administration helping to develop standards to prove vaccination. The Biden administration is working on creating a set of standards for people to prove they've been vaccinated against COVID-19, according to administration official. The officials said they're currently working with a range of companies on the standards, including nonprofits and tech companies, adding that they are likely still weeks away from being finalized, the official said. Multiple government agencies are engaged in conversations and planning, coordinated by the White House, as this kind of system will play a role in multiple aspects of life, including potentially the workforce, another senior administration official told CNN. President Joe Biden has predicted that life in the U.S. could be back to normal by Christmas, and as more Americans are vaccinated each day, these vaccine credentials, commonly called vaccine passports, could be key to a return to normalcy by the end of the year. Some sectors, meanwhile, like the travel industry, have clamored for a uniform system. Hang on, this is playing in my ear. I don't have stupid video. Okay. So the airlines are pushing for this. Governments around the world may seek proof of vaccinations before foreigners can enter their borders again. The administration's plans were first reported by the Washington Post. The Biden administration previously said the federal government should not be involved in efforts to create a vaccine passport system to verify that people have been vaccinated. So they've switched. They've changed their position. The Post, citing 5 officials who spoke on the condition of anonymity, reported the effort has been driven largely by arms of the Department of Health and Human Services, including an office devoted to health information technology. White House coronavirus coordinator Zients has led the White House's role in coordinating the project, an official told the Post. Our role is to help ensure that any solutions in this area should be simple, free, open source, accessible to people both digitally and on paper, and designed from the start to protect people's privacy. Okay, so, that's privacy. Let me see your vaccine passport. That's privacy. Like, how about fuck off? How's that? Sorry, this pisses me off. Yeah. Yeah, Pano, only infertile people leave our nation. Yeah. I mean, this is what I'm just pissed. I'm sorry. I don't normally. Yeah. Can I see your passport? Hey, fuck off. I want to say another word after that, but I'm trying to be somewhat optical. I'm not being optical by saying the F word, but there's another F word that I want to follow that up with. It's just insane. Yeah, now they want to make sure. CNN previously reported that several companies and technology groups have begun developing smartphone apps or systems for individuals to upload details of their COVID-19 tests and vaccinations, creating digital credentials that could be shown in order to enter concert venues, stadiums, movie theaters, offices, or even countries. But part of ensuring a wide usage for vaccine passports is accounting for the large subset of the global population that still doesn't have or use or have access to smartphones. A few companies within the COVID-19 Credentials Initiative are also developing a smart card that strikes a middle ground between the traditional paper vaccine certificates and an online version that's easier to store and reproduce. Can I see your COVID vaccination passport? Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. Not doing it. Yeah, bundle of sticks might be the only thing that could save us right now, Doorman 360. Yeah. Pa No says, fuck it, I'm gonna get some land, a waifu, and overpopulate. Enjoy the free porn and erectile dysfunction, normies. That's actually what I initially planned to talk about today. I was gonna do a, it was actually gonna be about, breaking free of porn. But this topic, we're gonna have to do that tomorrow unless something else insane happens. But anyways, Pano, you're gonna have to buy some land out here in West Virginia. You're gonna have to come to West Virginia, buy some land in Congressional District 1. We're gonna have to make a little. Apparently, we have until the end of the year before this is implemented, but I wouldn't count on it. So we have to come build our fortification here in Appalachia, in West Virginia. We have to do it. We have to do it. We have no options now, because you wanna see my passport. This is my pass. I'm not gonna put it fully on screen, but that's my passport. That's my passport for commerce, bitches. Now I lost a 9 mil. But that's my passport for commerce. So suck it, bitches. Let me see if 7-Eleven tells me no when I walk in just because I want to buy a fucking bagel or something. Oh, where's your passport? Where's your vaccine passport? Johan, he says, what industries are there in Congressional District 1 in West Virginia for work? Well, it's pretty, I'm sure that there's quite a variety. I know, Doorman, unoptical check. Sorry, I'm fired up. There's Johan, there's plenty up here. This is, you have some big areas. Morgantown is a bigger kind of, not really metro area, but it's a bigger town. Also, Pittsburgh is not very far. And then you also have the Ohio kind of there's the Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio tri-state area, which is quite, there's a lot of work in the area. So I don't have any specifics for you offhand, but I'm sure I can get an answer. We can do some, maybe I'll make a whole episode based on, on industries and work here in Congressional District 1. But yeah, hang on. Let me clear this. Retarded. Just look at that ammo. But anyways, back to let's drop I'm gonna drop the share link. So if anybody wants to donate $10 or more through Entropy or on YouTube, you can hop in and do a call. We're going to cover some other news now that I'm done freaking out about the vaccine passport. Being unoptical. But yeah, I'm just like, this is a line for me. This is not something I'm complying with. And if they won't let me buy food because I'm not vaccinated, well, what the hell else am I going to do? What am I going to do? What are we doing? Yeah, Archer, I'm aware of the kind of some buildings have some happenings in Tennessee, but it's also not far from West Virginia. It's still Appalachia, But seriously, like, if we can't band together now when they're telling us that we have to, if we can't do this community initiative now and take this seriously, if we can't, band together for our own survival and create at least our own, like, something. Take care of each other when they're trying to require vaccine passports, which is obviously a mark of the beast, if not the mark of the beast. Yeah, like, we're pathetic and we deserve to die if we can't unite and come together and fortify and build a community because of, like, in light of this. Well, we deserve to be killed. We deserve to be slaughtered. Like, we just deserve to die. If we're that weak that we can't, with a tyrannical liberal democratic antichrist order telling us that we need to have COVID vaccines just to participate in the economy, if we can't get together and build a community now in light of this, well, we deserve to fucking fail. We deserve to fail. We deserve to fail. That's, yeah. The optics crossed the line. Probably. But this. Have I said anything that's not true? We might have to be a Bitwave exclusive show. I might have to go to Odyssey too. But, that's just how it's just where I am right now. Off to some good news. Let's go to some good news. Yeah. Better news to come. Here's some good news coming out of the Orthodox Church, the OCA, if you believe it or not. The vaccine, according to Archbishop Mark of Philadelphia, the vaccine cannot be a prerequisite for participation in church life. And so this is actually good to see coming out of the OCA. Archbishop Mark of Philadelphia in Eastern America will allow no vaccine bullying in his parishes, but instead insists upon respecting the free choice of every parishioner. I mean, it's better than it's. This is a net positive. I mean, I would say taking the symbol of obedience to the demonic regime probably should be a bar from communion, but I'll take the freedom. I'm happy with Archbishop Mark here. According to a new directive from the hierarch of the OCA, no one is to be asked if they have received the vaccine, and vaccination cannot become a prerequisite for full participation in church life. As your bishop, I insist each of you respect the conscience and privacy of your brothers and sisters in Christ. No one is to be asked if he or she has or has not received the injections. No one is to be denied full participation in the divine services or parish life, regardless of his or her decision. No one should be judged or criticized one way or the other. His Eminence recalls that, per the statement of the Canonical Assembly of Orthodox Bishops in North America from January 21st, every Orthodox Christian is encouraged to consult their physician to determine the appropriate course of action. Thus, the Assembly does not require vaccinations. Which also a dumb, I trust the doctor, but, let's at least take this as a victory, because I don't know if you remember, but my first petition did actually include vaccination as part of it, and I know that a lot of OCA, a significant amount of OCA people did send the petition with the signatures to their bishops. And so now, in response, we're getting at least at least this statement from the OCA. So this is a positive. The Assembly does not require vaccinations. This is great. This is awesome. This is good news. Each person must prayerfully consider what the correct course of action is. Archbishop Mark writes, he notes that we must be mindful of those who have lost loved ones, but also of those who are suffering from isolation, fear, anxiety, depression, substance abuse, and loneliness as a result of COVID restrictions. Let us continue the fast, focusing on drawing nearer to Christ, the source of life, and to one another. Yeah, I mean, this is awesome. This is good news for us, right? Pano says yet. Nah, I don't, I think we're really putting the pressure on him. So Evola says F. Johan, lots of us OCA guys have based AF priests. True. Very true. There's some good things going on in the OCA. I haven't left. Pano says, OCA, guys, you don't have to fully cuck to Satan to participate in communion. Yeah, well, I'm just happy with kind of that. Let's take this as a blessing for now, that they aren't requiring it, that they're leaving it up to us as personal decisions, right? Let's take the blessings as they come, and let's not be too, because I really do think that our petition had an impact on that position. Jay Vola says, I came from Catholicism last year and could not be happier. My parish has been great throughout this entire thing. That's good to hear. Nobody Nowhere says, good morning, brothers and sisters. Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Let's check entropy real quick. Oh, we have a donation from Doorman360, $10. Thank you, sir. The mark of the beast moment coming up is rough. I've been bracing for impact the last couple months. We have to pray. Yeah, I mean, that's all the biggest thing is our prayer life, honestly. So feel free to hop on, Doorman, if you want. Oh, there you are.
Hey.
What's going on, bro? Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to step away from work, so I decided why the heck not jump on since this has been on my mind for a few months. So let's get the white pill out of the way first. It's really good to see OCA starting to back down from global homo. If you recall correctly, they were pro contact tracing when this stuff started rolling out. I know this because I was a member of the OCA back when it was happening, when all the COVID started hitting the fan. They were jumping at the opportunity to shut down the churches before the government mandated it. So it's heartening to see them at least take a step away from being lapdogs to the state for now.
Yeah, well, I think it just goes to show that the pressure from the laity actually works.
Oh yeah, people often say that Saint Mark of Ephesus, he couldn't do anything if it wasn't for the laity supporting him back when they had that false council with the Roman Catholics in the, who knows when it was, 16th century, sometime in ancient history.
Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, the parishioners or the laity was actually throwing like tomatoes at them, so at the bishops.
Yeah, I mean, it does get to the topic of like, look, we got to respect our bishops and stuff like that, and it's really easy to criticize them because it's not our butts on the line, at least not yet. But it's definitely a balanced path when it comes to quote unquote following your bishop. I do whatever my bishop says. Well, if your bishop's a heretic, you're gonna follow him right into hell. So we gotta not just be mindless drones and blindly obey, because we don't follow our bishop. Ultimately, we follow God, right? And if the bishop ain't following God, it's just like, all right, you're trouble.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that like there is a it is an essential part of orthodoxy is obedience, but obviously it can't be blind obedience in that sense.
We can't go off the rails to become true Orthodox. Is the other extreme where it's just like, oh well, you're not following this minute little bylaw over here in this council from 800 years ago, so I'm gonna go make my own little schismatic sect. It's like, no, we can't do that either.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I do think that there's another example. Let me hop over. I do think that what we're doing is actually working. The bishops are listening.
Mm.
And right here, the Assembly of Canonical Bishops actually put out a statement rejecting the Equality Act.
Yes.
And so, like, even though we didn't push specifically on this, we have been pushing these sentiments related to it, you know, in relation to the homosexuality and wanting to hear from our bishops some clear directives. I think this is a step in the right direction, and especially kind of shocking coming from the the Assembly of Canonical Bishops, which is basically GoArch. So we're hearing good things come out of GoArch and OCA. This is amazing, right?
It's good. I think they know with the Equality Act, something jolted in them and said, "Oh, if this Equality Act passes, we're finished as legal entities. You know, we're done." I mean, I don't know how much what's his name, the current head of GoArch. I don't know if he's released a statement or not, and how it, like, whatever he does and what he manages, and what old Frank over at the RC Church, what he I don't know what their opinions on such a thing is. Like with Frank, I'd imagine he just stroll right in because he's basically pro LGBT at this point anyway. And I'd imagine Mr. I walk with BLM is probably not too far away from that point. But it's for the rest of the let's say the bishops that at least have the some type of integrity and belief in the faith. Like with the Equality Act, it's done. You can't be Orthodox. You know, it's illegal to be more Orthodox if the Equality Act passes in the United States.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's I'll go ahead and read it real quick. I'm gonna mute you for a second. I just got you muted real quick. That way I can, as we getting some wind noise, so I just read this up. Friday, March 26, 2021. We, the Executive Committee of the Assembly of Canonical Bishops in the United States of America, affirm that all human beings should be treated with dignity and respect, as all are made in the image of God. Indeed, the principle of human equality has its origins in Christianity and is enshrined in the Constitution of the United States, which rightly prescribes that every person must receive equal treatment under the law. Kind of cringe, but whatever. Consequently, we are deeply concerned about the proposed Federal Equality Act, which would erode religious liberty for both individuals and organizations, including Orthodox Christian jurisdictions, parishes, and faithful. The supporters of this act, in their desire to promote equality, ultimately infringe upon the religious liberty of Americans to live according to their faith, a right protected under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Throughout the United States, Orthodox jurisdictions and parishes have ministries, organizations, and facilities through which they provide many beneficial services to the public. All of these ministries, organizations, and facilities would be directly and negatively affected by the Equality Act as written. Furthermore, the expansive nature of the act would affect the lives and careers of many thousands of religious people in America, including the Orthodox faithful. All of this is in addition to the broader impact that the act would have on American society, moving it further away from the traditional and normative moral and ethical foundations, as well as deepening painful divisions that already exist in the country. Like, wow, like, they're not explicitly saying it, but I'm actually white pilled that they would even say that they would. I am. Let me finish. As Orthodox Christian bishops charged by our Savior Jesus Christ to shepherd his flock, we will continue to uphold and proclaim the moral teachings of the Church. We call upon all Orthodox Christians to remain firm in the Orthodox faith. We call upon our nation's civic leaders to uphold and not infringe upon the religious freedom guaranteed by the Bill of Rights, and to continue to extend the protections afforded by the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. Like, holy crap. Holy moly. Like, what is this? Is proof that pressure works, guys. This is very white pilling seed. Doorman, I unmuted you, but now it says that you have to unmute yourself if you want to comment on that. I thought that was pretty white.
Is it mute? Is it muted?
There you go. You're unmuted now. Now my green screen's acting crazy. Look at that.
Yeah, the HUD doesn't respond when I click on the button. No, it's all good news.
I hear you. You're on. Yeah, I mean this is good. I'm sure Orthodoxy and Dialogue is very pleased about this.
It's I can also think of at least one parish near me that would probably share the same opinion of Orthodoxy and Dialogue. One of the parishes that based, what's her name? Dissident Mama wrote about over here in New York.
Oh yeah, up in New York City, yeah. Yeah, that's Father Kalen, I think is the priest's name. Yeah.
Kalen. Is that his last name? His first name is Christopher, the guy I'm thinking about.
I think that's his last name, Father Christopher Kalen. So
yeah, it's actually attending that parish is a completely different world, bro. It's like, wait, is this even an Orthodox church? It looks nice. The cathedral's really nice.
Yeah. Jay Vola says something about Jay Dyer's now on Rofkin. I've never heard of that, so I'm gonna have to check it out. Or Rockfin, whatever.
Rockfin, I think it's called.
I'm on Bitwave. There's I'm on Trovo, which now is banning people. So I don't know. I'm kind of tired of jumping around, I'm just gonna wait till I get deplatformed here before I make any more changes. So
yeah, I think Operation Choke Point is in full swing, and it seems like any potential safe haven for digital space is getting quickly wiped out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that it's balkanizing. I do think that that we will have safe havens for sure.
Yeah, it was worth mentioning on this topic. What's his name, Ryan Dawson. He's a cringe atheist, but one thing he had to do because of he covers some unoptical topics, including our greatest ally over there at the future capital where the Antichrist will appear. He had to move outside of the United States so he can do banking. Like that's how he got around it. So he's creating alternate platforms. So if you haven't kept an eye on Ryan Dawson and his anti-neocon report, ANC, take a glance at him because he's building his own platforms. And once again, like he's getting around the whole bank issue because he's not located in US. He had to move in order to be like financially solvable. Otherwise, he would have just starved, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'm working on solutions here, kind of being forward thinking with it. Basically, I'm building my entire business off of BSV. So like I'm gonna have I'm actually trying to get a Patreon type thing developed to replace Patreon on top of BSV. I am also setting.
What is BSV again?
It's a Bitcoin SV. So, but it's more capable for building like blockchain off of, like the technology. It's just better. Like it's more functional. The capability is better than with regular Bitcoin and BTC. So even though it's what's that?
I was just gonna say, like, as long as any platform we build or gets built, it has to get around Operation Choke Point. Yeah.
Well, I think it pretty much is. So I mean, the difficult part about it. So receiving funds and all that is going to be pretty easy. The hard part is when I need to convert it to USD is going to be the tricky part. But there's some ways. So I'm getting that all figured out now. But I think that's pretty much the future is to if you can't, to me, it's more viable of a solution to build off of that than to move out of the country, So, and local banking is not, I think, as bad as like getting the major banks. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
no, they'll go after the local banks too, as we've seen evidence of this. I mean, even let's say Dick Masterson, excuse the language, but that's what his moniker name is. He came up with his own like what is it? Um, I think it's called New Project 2, and he eventually, using processors that specialize in like doing transactions for gun manufacturers and gun traders. Like he got kicked off I think a Chase bank, and then he went to an independent bank, and then eventually they went after him too. So it's just they just I don't know, they get tracked down eventually, knocked out.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, there's options. There's other options. So, and mostly because of crypto. But anyways, not everyone is apparently, they're getting very frustrated that this is the last story really to cover for this show. Cancel proof. I found this article very amusing. So, cancel proof activists are trying to get Nick Fuentes, a far right video streamer from the western suburbs, kicked off the internet. It might be impossible. For someone who has been deplatformed as thoroughly as anyone this side of Donald Trump, Nick Fuentes is still easy to find online. The FBI has called the far-right streamer from Chicago's western suburbs a white supremacist in a court document, and nearly every major social media platform has banished him for hate speech violations. Many technical service providers and consumer apps won't work with him either. Yet Fuentes has a verified Twitter account with 125,000 followers. Hundreds of his video clips continue to circulate on YouTube, a platform that terminated his channel a year ago. And despite being expelled from a live streaming site after the deadly U.S. Capitol riot, he cheered from nearby. He has built what he calls a cancel-proof website to host his nightly show. Fuentes' continuing visibility shows the difficulty of erasing someone from the internet, no matter how scorned. Social media platforms have varying standards about impermissible speech. Banned content is easily recirculated, and plenty of tech companies are willing to support intolerant websites. Yes. So I mean, there's some white pills here. This is actually kind of a funny quote. Conventionally, it's over for people if they are removed from 2 or 3 of their major platforms, Fuentes told the Tribune. But I'm 22. I'm a Zoomer. I know about how the internet works. It's not doing as much damage as they think. Okay, the internet's not doing so hot. Did I cut out? Did you guys
There was a bit of a pause there.
What did you I'm wondering how much you guys missed. What was the last thing you caught, Doorman?
You were just, I think it was just the completion of the article, and then you were like chuckling, and then there was a pause for about 3 seconds, maybe 5.
Okay. Now I just find it funny. They're like the Chicago Tribune is writing articles like basically frustrated that they haven't been able to cancel Nick Fuentes from the internet.
It is a little curious that he still has his Twitter account, right?
Yeah, but I mean he abides by the guidelines. I think eventually.
We know that they don't really care about that. They'll take you down for no matter what. I think they have some kind of interest in him to keep his Twitter account open because if they want to deplatform you really bad, they'll just take you off. I'm not putting a shadow of doubt on his motivations. I don't think he's a Fed or anything like that. It's just an observation.
Well, I do think they have an interest in him, mostly because he has a huge following. And I think that they understand that the Groyper movement, the Groyper Twitter, will all pretty much leave and go to a different platform. And I think that they understand that from a business perspective that maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't delete him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Too much too soon, huh?
Yeah, like I know a lot of people have said, well, they don't care. Like they banned Lauren Nowitzki, but she also went after the pet as we all know that they're all pedophiles. She
The maps.
revealed
She went after the maps.
Yeah. So, and frankly, like her following is nowhere near she doesn't have like a cult personality following that Fuentes has. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but
no, Fuentes has been on the map for a while, and it's not everybody gets an entire speech from Ben Shapiro dedicated to proving how awful a human being they are. So
yeah, I mean, basically what I'm saying is he controls right-wing Twitter on Twitter for the most part, and Twitter understands that having that sort of conflict dynamic on the platform does make it a more appealing platform. And if all that left, it would just kind of die. Especially with Trump.
You do need some. I come to think of it, you do need some right wingers on Twitter for the leftists to bigger with. You need a little bit of that conflict. If you get rid of all the right wing people, then who are left wing people going to attack and call the devil? Yep.
What's up, Keith Taylor? Good to have you. Good friend of mine. So good to have you here. He's a little late. He missed all my unoptical anger outbursts earlier. So it wasn't that unoptical. I just said the F word a few times.
I don't. People don't tend to like. Normies don't tend to like show like displays of aggression. But maybe I'm just tailoring too much to what the TV shows.
Yeah, well, I don't know that that's true because the whole Trump phenomenon was kind of a display of of aggression, but no, obviously you don't advocate violence. I don't advocate violence, but there is a line that one thing that we can't tolerate are freaking vaccine passports. Like if they want to drive people to do things like, oh well, receiving the vaccine goes against a certain segment of the population's conscience, right? Well, let's make the vaccine necessary to participate in commerce. Well, what do you think that's going to drive people to do? Like, you're going to push people into you're going to push people past the edge. And that's just obvious. And I think they know that. But you're going to have either intelligent segments of the dissident population, which I would classify us, right? We're gonna create some sort of alternative system and find alternatives. But Joe Blow out in the wrong turn street, he's not gonna. Hang on, I'm hearing a lot of road noise from you, doorman.
Sorry, man.
But yeah, Joe Blow's not gonna be like, oh, I gotta form a community and live off land now. Joe Blow's he's gonna resort to some unsavory tactics to feed his family. So yeah, Valiant one says easy on the wax word. Yeah, well, at some point I get tired of using code words and stuff. I'm actually thinking about bringing what's that guy's name? He was a guest on my show. Dr. His name is slipping, but he came on to talk about the COVID vaccine before, and I think now would be a good time to bring him back on. But I got you unmuted for a second. Good to have you, doorman. I'm gonna kick you off real quick before I end the stream. But
all right,
good
man.
to see you. Thanks for supporting and watching. Thank you. So yeah, anyways, I appreciate everyone coming on. Thank you for the super chat, Dan. And I'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna have another good show. Probably won't be as fired up because this COVID vaccine passport thing just really got me going. So if I was a little unoptical, I'm not sorry. I'm just gonna deal with it and live with the consequences. So, but I appreciate the support. Feel free to, the Reese report. That's a good suggestion there. Starve the beast, support small business, bank locally, buy as much food for your food locally as possible. We should return to a craft economy with handmade goods. Yeah. We should stop doing business with the vaccinated, honestly. We should counter that. If we own small businesses, we should say, hey, are you vaccinated? I'm sorry, you can't eat here today. That's what we need. We need a completely right-wing network that is alternative. We don't do business with them. They don't do business with us. Fine. Like it like that. But anyways, that's all I got for you today. I will see you tomorrow. Blessed Lent.